GNT show is intended for mature audiences. Parental discussion is advice. Live long and prosper, bitches.
Star Trek: The Final Frontier. These are the voyages of the GNT show. Our continuing mission: to explore Star Trek storytelling, to seek out new worlds and interesting characters, to boldly go where no show has gone before.
Naomi Wildman. I was setting it up. Oh. Welcome to the G&T show, where obviously we have no script.
Yeah, let's just get this puppy started.
As always, the beautiful, the lovely, the high-booted, short-skirted, big-breasted Terry Lynn.
That would be me. Admiral Shaw.
She's badass.
It's Ceridian.
Good morning. It's Sunday on the GNT show.
You know the worst part of this morning? It's not the getting up early. It's the fact they're making me wear clothes to do the show.
It's time for coffee clutch.
Strap on your helmets, boys and girls. It's gonna get rough.
Oh, it's going to be one of those mornings.
Let me put on my seatbelt, my helmet with the little blinky light on top.
For safety.
When we decided we were going to do the G&T show,
Man.
one of the things we said was no standards. G&T show does not go on the air because we're ready. It goes on the air because it's 9 o'clock on Sunday morning.
Mike could have snapped by then and killed us both. Pain sticks for Mike, evidently.
We have our production meetings on the air.
Well, it's the best way to get you to adhere to things.
Yeah, you've now set an expectation. That's the thing about the G&T show is we set no expectations.
I need more coffee.
Wow,
I'm trying to figure out whether or not I want to do general news or Star Trek news, and I figured
this is Terry having a series of small strokes, actually.
Well, it doesn't take long for this show to deteriorate, does it?
straight the fuck downhill.
I don't always podcast, but when I do, I G&T.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the G&T Show, episode 196. I'm Terry Lynn.
Joel Entree, you bitches. What's going on? It's Gettysburg 7. There she is to my left. You're right. Wearing her Terry Garr-inspired Rollin' Z Hayware. It's Terry Lynn.
Good evening. Or good morning. Whatever.
All right. And there he is to my right, your left, wearing his overalls as he's in the Jeffries tubes trying to fix his mechanical issues. It's Ceridian.
Kabla! I'm giving her all she's got.
And welcome to our show.
Keep it.
By the way, if you have, quote, triggers and you need a safe zone, go somewhere else.
Because we're probably going to trigger the triggers and it's not safe here? Is that what you're implying?
What is it, the tagline for Club 602 now? Be prepared to be offended? I love that. I think that's great. Yeah.
Don't
I won't get you started.
No,
I can tell.
It's now descended to the point where something you don't agree with is considered a violent action. So me saying something maybe Terry doesn't agree with, there are people out there now claiming that's a violent action.
Yeah, that's not true.
No, there are people saying that.
I know that, but I'm saying what they're saying is not true.
Yeah, and it's mostly in colleges. And here's what depresses me. College is supposed to be where you learn to think, to really expand your mind and take in everything. Now it's become...
beer pong and bongs?
Or, I need a warning that class may have something that's going to trigger me. There's whole law universities now where they're not teaching rape law, like, how to be a lawyer and deal with it. Yes, because it might trigger someone. Then why are you fucking going to be a lawyer if you can't handle what the course load is?
Or for that matter, how you're going to be able to help somebody or represent somebody who's gone through it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't get it. I know. I'm with you, hon. You know me, and I'm pretty damn sensitive.
I can disagree with somebody all day long. But I would never say we must stop them from talking about this because it might offend me. Fuck it, give it a shot. See if you can.
And so begins episode 196. Oh, poor Nick. I'm sorry you had it sounded like you had a rough morning or a rough Twitter. Sometimes social media. What is it?
No,
We've been talking about this.
I was watching C-SPAN, of all things. and it was a book by someone pretty, believe it or not, pretty infirmly Kennedy / Roosevelt type politics and worked on Clinton's staff and all that, who's written a book about, basically she calls it the illiberal left, who basically want to quash anything that they disagree with because it's all considered an attack or violence.
Yeah. Well, it's both. We've talked about this before. All the political parties out there right now have very vocal fringe elements that just kind of make you want to bang your head against a wall going, you've lost all reason and sanity. You've lost all reason and sanity. You are not smart. You are stupid. You're trying to sound smart. And all you're doing is, shoving your foot up your ass.
And what makes me sad is so many of the things she talked about from college campuses.
Right. Well,
which should be where the mind is the most open.
Correct. But what do you expect when what you're getting into college is coming out of a very closed, protected, overly protected, uncompetitive, high school or secondary schools? We're not teaching our children how to think anymore. We're just teaching them how to take tests.
Yeah.
So they haven't had to deal with the real world. I mean, we're also talking about parents who are being put in jail because their 11-year-old child was stuck playing in their backyard for a little while.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
I mean, what happened to America, people? We're getting so stupid.
I think that's the problem, again, that you even allude. Everything now is don't hurt my feelings.
Well, yeah, don't hurt my feelings. Don't be, I'm so protected. Well, that's because they are. They have been coddled, emotionally coddled. Now, that's not to say we shouldn't take people's feelings into consideration if something horrible happens to them, but not to the point of protecting them from the fact. The fact is that shit happens, people. It really does happen, and you have to learn how to deal with it. It doesn't mean you have to become a victim, and it doesn't mean that you have to hide it away, but you have to learn how to make it a constructive moving forward. How do we keep violence from occurring? You do it through constructive means, not through becoming protecting, putting up more pads. Putting up more pads doesn't help.
No, and these people will never realize that once they get out of a closed environment, like college, and because they're in a closed environment all the way up through school and all of that, until they get to this point, life doesn't have safe zones or timeouts or life doesn't give a flying fuck about our feelings.
No. As a matter of fact, that's the only way you actually do learn, right?
Yeah.
How many times do we as individuals have to learn from our...
The G&T show has been experiencing technical difficulties. Please stand by.
So Nick and I were on a rant.
Yeah, and it was a good one.
It was a good one. I think life was just saying, shut up, you two.
Well, on a happier note, today here in the U.S., of course, is Flag Day, but it is also the 240th birthday of our United States Army, and I'm very proud to say, happy birthday, United States Army.
That's kind of cool.
240 years.
Wow, very cool.
Wearing reflective belts for 240 years.
I wanted to officially announce that I will not be running for the office of the presidency this year.
That's like 3 people so far.
It seems like they were coming out of the woodwork. It popped into my head when you guys were having your rant about politics, so I thought I'd try to liven things up, but then we got disconnected.
It sounds
That's
so
what it
funny.
was. You see, you got to be it cut your funny.
Yes.
Cut, you're funny. Remember how years ago, Nick, we would watch television and there would be some kind of a beyond unprofessional, wacky fight in like the South Korean parliament, and we would go,
or the Ukrainian, where they pull out golf clubs
and we would
beat
go
each other over the head.
And in the back of your mind, you would think, oh, we would never stoop to that level.
Throwing shoes at speakers in Iraq.
I'm now to the point going, oh my God, we've totally reduced ourselves to that level. We are no better than the unprofessional. I don't know.
It all started to go downhill when Johnny Carson retired.
I'm with you.
People think I'm joking when I say that, but I'm dead serious.
It's true.
It all started to go downhill when Johnny Carson retired.
Yes.
And there's, sadly, Terry, there's people in our audience
don't know who Johnny Carson is. Yeah.
Like that tweet I did earlier this week that I knew only like 5 followers would get. But Generalissimo Francisco Franco.
Who is still dead. I know. Well, at least,
I said he was still valiantly hanging on to death.
That was awesome. And I think 3 people got it.
Yeah.
Me, Ken from Chicago, maybe one other person, and nobody else. I think somebody else piped in and said, oh my God, they didn't even use that as in the
yeah, that was Ken.
show.
I think that was Ken.
Yeah, it was. That was sad. You're right. They didn't. So other than that, Mike.
Do you know I was looking...
What?
Sorry, I was going to say, do you know I was looking up how many days he's been dead because I was going to tweet
No.
It's been however many days, and Generalissimo Francisco Franco is still dead.
Did you find out how many days?
No, I don't. I was too lazy to do the
I was
math.
too lazy to do the math. I understand.
I was hoping there was a website that had a counter. I really was. I figured there's a website for everything. There's got to be a counter for how many days he's been dead.
It's been 40,655 days since Generalissimo Francisco Franco's been dead. Alan's ears perked up on that one. So kind of getting back to the show and what we've been doing this past week, our coffee clutch kind of turned into technological fixing. But Mike's been a busy boy. He has been
and will
traveling, and
continue to do so.
Yes, he is a very busy man. And but yesterday, by the way, happy birthday.
Oh, thank you.
It was and on your birthday, you got to act as correspondent.
Yes, I went
Can
to
you,
Los
without giving away the
Gatos.
spoilers so people will listen to what you've recorded, what did you get to do?
I got to go to Los Gatos, and I got to hang out with Cryptic developers, and I got to see some. And then I got to talk to some people about, and it was just totally awesome because I actually got to.
And you took your
Mike,
picture
you're playing
with.
a dangerous game because you could legitimately be cutting out and we wouldn't know.
We wouldn't know. That's true.
I was planning this gag the whole time, but now, yeah, you're right. Now that I'm actually having internet problems, it's kind of scary. It brings on a whole nother level. But yeah, it was wonderful. I got to talk to a lot of people. Some of our conversation actually had to do with Stowe, but a lot of it also did not, because I wanted to kind of get to know these people and show that they're real people just like us. They have the same loves and hates, and then there's Nick. And so it was fun.
You're talking Tumor Boy.
Yes,
yes.
Taco Fangs.
Taco Fangs, Tumor Boy. All right.
He's in his own class. He's so cool.
My doppelganger.
Cool. Yeah.
And let's see. I'd spoken with Ricosa, Stephen Ricosa.
Nice.
I'd spoken with Nick, Maria,
Hero.
Christine.
Yay.
Jesse Heinig. That was an awesome conversation. It was the longest. I have a feeling I may be forgetting somebody. And then yesterday, we got a chance to speak with the man himself,
Al Rivera.
Al Rivera, yes.
We had a very nice conversation with him, which will come out on a supplemental log as soon as somebody has a moment to breathe and edit it down. And it was fun. It was nice to talk to him again. And it was nice for once to be able to kind of chat with him, mostly about stuff not Star Trek Online. One of the things we had been really hoping to do was to talk to Al, to bring him onto the show so we could shoot the shit about other comics, right? Comics, TV, other popular culture besides Star Trek. And we had a ball.
Mm-hmm.
We had a real nice time talking with him.
We did. Yes, we did.
It was fun. We had a good time.
I'm hoping to have most of the interviews from Cryptic online this week. I've solicited some help. Oh, yes, Thomas the Cat. Yes.
Yay.
Spoke with Thomas the Cat. Thank you. I knew I was forgetting somebody because I know that there was a total of 7 interviews. So
wow.
It was busy. And although I was, we had set up Al's interview for Saturday, but we were also hoping that I'd be able to squeeze him in as well. But that didn't get to happen. I was there for 4 hours talking to devs, and I got my tour and I got my photo taken with the giant Dracolich that I named George because he's so cute. I just want to hug him and squeeze him.
Isn't he beautiful?
Yes.
I wish I had taken my picture with it too, but
if his mouth was just a little bit bigger, I can almost get it in there. But yeah, I tried.
The one nice thing though, at the end of all, it's not really giving away any spoilers, but there is some nice news that came with our discussion with Al Rivera, and that is Stowe will be at STLV this year, so that's good news.
We're not saying what.
Yeah, we're
how.
not saying how or what they're doing or or
Not that
what
they
they
told
plan on
us.
talking
Just say
about.
what
but
they doing.
I don't think they
What?
told us.
Did you just say what they doing?
No, what they're doing.
You said what they doing.
Oh,
Yes, Baz, I am on the line.
I don't remember saying that, but okay. Yes. So Mike really went out of his way this week. Drove.
No, I wanted to go see friends. I've been wanting a tour of Cryptic. It's not out of my way, and I figured it's my birthday. I
It
might
was your
as
birthday.
well treat
That's
myself.
right. It was
And-
fun. I'm glad you got to go.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun, and I got to hang out with Adrian. Adrian was there with me for most of it, and so you'll hear her in the background every now and then chime in with questions, and squirrels.
And squirrels.
It
It wouldn't be a G&T recording if there weren't some squirrels.
Periodically, yes. So yeah, it was a lot of fun. Then afterward, I had Thai food for the first time. That was good.
Yay. It's very good.
Then we hung out with I hung out with Adrian and Jesse for the rest of the evening, and next day I went up to San Francisco to visit another friend, and
Nice.
yeah, it was a great trip, and I'm home now. I'm exhausted.
Well, yeah.
I hurt, but I'm here.
Well, welcome home.
Thank you.
Nick, you've had a busy week too, yes?
Yeah, I was working.
Ooh, it's getting some buzz on that mic.
No, that was me.
It seems to be getting worse.
Yeah, it does. I don't know what's up. We're just not having a very good techno day. Just, yeah, that techno day.
Techno, right? Techno?
Yeah, techno. The little...
Oh,
Is that
sorry.
better?
A little bit, yeah.
I have the TENS on. I have my TENS machine on because my neck and shoulder are killing me.
Oh, that's exactly what that is. We are getting a little bit of pickup from that.
Yes,
How
you're getting
wild.
you're
Okay.
getting the electricity flowing through my body.
Oh,
It's
the poor thing.
alive.
Yeah, it's trippy. Well, if it gets bad, I'll tell you to turn it down. But so far, so good. That's really cute. The little gun shooting all the likes. Cute. Well, I mean, I worked this week and nothing exciting. Nice to have our company picnic was on Friday, which was actually kind of fun.
Right on.
Our company picnic. We had our staff meeting. They brought in barbecue, and we all went to the zoo. We hung around for a couple of. It was fun.
Right on.
It was fun. Yeah, it was kind of fun because there was a group of us that don't have kids, or whose kids are already out of the house. So there was like a group of about 5 or 6 of us, including the COO, and we were just walking around going, God, this is a really nice zoo. I love this zoo. It's really cute. But feeding the giraffes and feeding the elephants, and then kind of hanging around for another hour, and then kind of going, why are we here? Let's go get a beer. We all left, and it was fun. We had a good day.
Right on.
Yeah. So let's get to just a little bit of Star Trek news.
Star Trek news.
Mike's got more links than I do this week. I only really have one kind of general piece, and that is somebody tipped me off. I gotta love Facebook and social media. Our listeners crack me up. They were like, Terry, look, I knew you'd be interested in this. And I kind of am. First off, because it's a beautiful damn house. Jonathan Frakes and Jeannie Francis are selling their house in LA. Right now, it's a 10,000 square foot, 7-bedroom, 10-bath home.
Wow.
Only 10 baths? Fucking amateurs.
That is actually kind of pretty.
It's really beautiful. It's a very beautiful home for essentially just under $12.5 million. Now the thing is that they're not moving from LA. They've purchased another home in Woodland Hills, and they're moving out of this house because their kids are kind of all grown up now, which kind of blows my mind because it sounds weird, but he and his wife met the same year that Alan and I met. And to think that they have kids, that their youngest is now just graduated high school, just kind of trips me out. Thinking, oh my God. So it's just the two of them now. So they're selling the big house and they bought a smaller place in Woodland Hills. So congrats to you two.
It's Jonathan Frakes of Star Trek The Next Generation puts house on market. I would argue...
Oop, buzzy. Big bad buzz. Ow. Ooh, sorry.
It sounds like he's receiving electric shock therapy.
Yeah, it really does. Well, he kind of is. The TENS unit does that.
I would argue that Jeannie Francis is as well known, maybe more, for a much longer time.
Yeah, so we could kind of touch on that.
Because it's their house. It's not his house.
Right.
Unless they did it that way, which, some people do.
That's true, too. I think that they're picking up from him because he was the one that was actually interviewed. But it is correct. It is their home. Why isn't it Frakes and Francis's home or, Laura of General Hospital? I don't know. I just thought it was weird. I'm glad you picked up on that.
Because let's face it, Luke and Laura's wedding was bigger than anything Star Trek has ever done.
I'd agree.
Pop culture-wise.
Yeah, it was huge. If you guys weren't alive when Luke and Laura's wedding happened in General Hospital, I mean, seriously, it was bigger than Who Shot JR. It was huge. Huh? Yeah, people, Alan goes, people don't remember that either. Like you. Yeah, that's true. What more recent reference should I have made?
It was so big that fucking Elizabeth Taylor was involved with it.
Yeah, in the show.
Yeah.
That was nuts. Yeah, that was crazy. So, yay.
Good morning, Mr. Thomas the Cat.
Oh, Thomas the Cat. Hi. We were just talking about you. His ears were burning. That's what that was. By the way, the Manticore. I put Cassidy. We'll talk about that in a bit.
Okay.
Okay.
New Star Trek products are coming in soon.
So one of the new things that came out, by the way, the day after tomorrow is Captain Picard Day.
Oh, cool.
So Tuesday.
And there's a t-shirt that you can buy that has Captain Picard Day on it. That was kind of funny. You can go to the StarTrek.com shop and pick one up. They're on sale for $16, $17, and store stuff that they came out with. So, not a lot of new merchandise.
What is the best way to celebrate Captain Picard Day? Do you create
with dolls?
Oh, dolls and
your
making
arts
clay
and crafts
sculptures?
Of Captain Picard things, yeah.
Okay, so you're creating arts
the
and
answer
crafts.
is by banging a hot chick that's in an archaeological dig.
There you go.
Oh yeah, I can get behind that. Boom, boom.
Find your own Vosh.
Mm-hmm.
With the electronic buzz, that's really funny.
Resistance is futile.
Oh, but what do you have, Mike?
Let's see. We
Chlamydia?
are no. A Star Trek-y like product.
Okay.
Cosplay Sky, which is a UK.
I saw these. I saw somebody wearing one. They were beautiful.
Yes, they have developed or figured out the pattern for and are making and selling Stowe Odyssey style cosplay uniforms. Yep. And although the one on display is blue, I hear, or for science, I do hear that they do have available. They can make tactical as well as
they do both.
Engineering. So
right.
But it's a special. You have to let them know what you're looking for.
Right.
But yeah, pretty snazzy.
Yeah, I saw somebody posting a picture of in the Star Trek cosplay Facebook page that a woman and her husband or boyfriend or maybe just a friend, I don't know, were both wearing Star Trek Online Odyssey uniforms, and they looked fantastic. It was beautiful, really well done. Even had that nice kind of rolled braid that runs along the color braid in the middle off the shoulder. It looked really good. They did a fantastic job on them, and it's nice to see that people are picking up more and more. Star Trek Online stuff in cosplay. I think it's fun,
and it's nice that Thomas is here because he had a hand in actually kind of spreading that the uniform code around within game. So yeah, I think it's fantastic. So great job.
Yeah.
Thomas.
Thomas did clarify that the two people who had posted in the cosplay had made their own uniforms. They did an outstanding job. They didn't buy the cosplay Sky version, but
Room Cat.
If I'm not mistaken, crap. My mind just
let it
blank.
out.
Yeah, he's.
Take your time.
I'm tired. It's been a long weekend.
You want a Red Bull? You okay? You need something?
I got water.
Okay.
All right.
I can't think of it. Oh well. It'll come back to me at some point.
Poor thing. Well,
so, yeah, pretty snazzy.
yeah, no, those are beautiful.
I figured it out. Not last year, but I think it was the year before. There was some hoopla about Stowe uniforms at the Star Trek Las Vegas convention.
Yes.
They didn't realize that they were Stowe uniforms that people had put together themselves, and so they weren't exactly being counted at first. But then once they realized that Stowe was a licensed product, and
I took that picture.
These uniforms were from the game. I think it had become more accepted. Do you know if last year if there were any trouble with Stowe uniforms?
Yeah, there was still. Well, they didn't do a world record thing last year.
Okay.
They didn't even bother with it just because it was turning into such a clusterfuck. To be honest with you, I don't think very many people missed it. I mean, as much as fun as it was to see people try to compete with London, the fact of the matter was at the end of what was it?
Cheaters.
Well, it just turned into more trouble than it was worth, and that time was better spent having more fun than just standing in line and being counted. So, they didn't even bother with it last year, which ended up everybody just having more and more fun because they didn't have to. They got to appreciate the Stowe costumes and the other costumes, and the freedom of cosplay was, and not the least of which is they still have the Garrick's tailor, right?
Yeah.
So they have that free tailor now who helps cosplayers out with wardrobe malfunctions. That's Astra La Vista.
Right on.
But last year, the Priority One gang, they all had, was it last year or the year before? The Priority One gang all had Stowe Admiral uniforms. The long jacket. They were great. They looked great.
Right on. That must have been last year because I don't remember seeing those.
Yeah, they showed up to the Star Trek drinking with the devs in their Stowe uniforms. It was great.
Sweet. Right on. The next bit of news, along the lines of celebrity news, well, kind of related to celebrity news, and since Philae, the lander on the comet is in the chat room, so in I think it's appropriate that we mention that Leonard Nimoy has a asteroid in the belt.
Oh, that's
named after him.
Yeah, they named an asteroid after Leonard Nimoy.
Let's see. So Nimoy. 4864 Nimoy is a mountain-sized rock roughly 6 miles across.
That's cool.
It orbits the sun once every 3.9 years within the inner part of the main asteroid belt between Mars and Jupiter. So
that's cool.
Congratulations. That's pretty awesome. I mean, that is a great way to remember this great man. So
I thought it was perfect.
Yeah. Okay. And next up in the celebrity news, we have the kiss that was, I guess, seen around the world. I guess that's one way to put it.
Yeah, which was so cute. It was so cute. It's what happens when your bestie shows up at a function. Well, you go say hi, and just so happens if your bestie is Ian McKellen, you kiss him square on the lips. That's what I love. So that's wonderful
cool.
photo. Yeah,
and it seemed it was at a premiere, and and like you described, it's your best friend, someone that you really, and it is kissing on the lips is a European thing to do amongst friends. It's a little,
oh please, this was just. Oh, I'm sorry. This was more than that. It was more than just Europeans. Yes, especially I've learned in Holland they kiss each other 3 times. It's sweet, but this would be if me and Nick were seeing each other.
It's sweet when they do it. When I do it, it's a restraining order.
No, it would be like if Nick and I saw each other, I would give him a big fat kiss on the lips, right? It just so happens that these two are, best friends. And yes, Sir Ian is gay. So why not? I love Patrick Stewart. I love Patrick Stewart so hard.
Right on.
So I think it's sweet.
That is cool. So I was
little bunnies. Those are cute. Little bunny costumes. I'm sorry, those are cute. I like those. Oh, squirrel. That's me looking at girls on the chat room. I apologize.
Yeah, they're TNG-esque Playboy
bunny
bunnies.
Uniforms. They're really cute.
Very nice. Okay, let's see. I think technology news.
Okay.
This is also related to books.
Book news.
So we have apparently Europe is investigating Amazon's ebook business for antitrust violations.
Yeah, I heard about that. We'll see how that goes. Watch the ad for it.
According to the press release, Amazon has developed a successful business that offers consumers a comprehensive service, including for ebooks. Our investigation does not call that into question. However, it is my duty to make sure that Amazon's arrangements with publishers are not harmful to consumers by preventing other ebook distributors from innovating and competing effectively with Amazon.
Yeah.
So, but
there's going to be, I'm not saying one way or the other because I'm not real up on the whole issue just yet, but I've heard a lot of complaints about the potential for antitrust issues with Amazon right now, and the relationships they've developed with publishers, the big house publishers as opposed to the smaller house, which kind of crunches free competition. However, I'm not sure that that's really what's happening, so I have to read up on it.
Yeah,
well, look at that scant. That is awesome, Nick. I didn't notice he was wearing Star Wars pants.
Yeah. I love his socks.
Yeah, his socks are rocking.
Whoever dressed him that morning.
This week I did go on a bit of a rant in our GNT chat room, our private meeting room.
Yes.
Regarding the
super secret meeting room.
Yes, the secret over an article I came across about, can copyright protect a language?
Yeah, that's going to be a very interesting. It's currently with the U.S. Supreme Court right now, and it's is it Java versus?
It's Oracle, which is
Oracle makes
Java,
Google. Right?
Versus Google,
right?
And essentially, what's going on is Google Android uses the Java API, which is a set of commands that are like prefabricated. They allow you to kind of interact with Java without having to code those hookups yourself. So it's kind of like a little shortcut, but it's also in a way its own little sub languages of Java. It's almost like its own dialect, so to speak.
Right. The definition is it's a constructed language.
Yes.
Right. So the problem is they're suing Google for theft of a constructed language, copyright infringement of a constructed language, which has led to, because of how broadly interpreted that law is can the people who create a constructed language, a la Klingon,
or the languages used in like Games of Thrones or any other,
even Elvish.
Elvish, yes. So are potentially at risk. Are potentially
at risk for their owners to be able to claim copyright infringement if you use it.
And I was thinking about this, and it's like, okay, so there would be Mark Okrand version of Klingon, then there would be Lawrence Show.
I don't know.
I think his name is Lawrence Schoen. He has also expanded the Klingon language, and then obviously
in an
Microsoft,
unofficial capacity.
Well, I think he's done it with the blessing of Mark, but again, it added a lot more to the language. Now, if they were, say, to go head to head against each other and kind of sort of develop their own versions, if they were to do a split, it could be potentially troublesome because Lawrence had added a lot of words to the Klingon language. Mark had
what about ones that have? Here's the thing: what about the unofficial or the fan created stuff? There is an entire website out there that was created by one person. I actually know a person who has created the Cardassian language. These people are doing it out of the love. It's fan fiction creation, but they're truly making some remarkable things. Purely constructed language with syntax and grammar, and they've constructed them, but they've constructed them for a copyrighted species, correct? So technically,
yes,
they are working with Star Trek material, even though they're creating new material from it. Would they be in trouble from, they can't really claim ownership over that language. Only CBS could, technically. I mean, it'll be very interesting to see. I mean, even Esperanto, right?
Yes.
is a constructed language. Does somebody own it? Can you own a language? And that's kind of what the U.S. Supreme Court's going to be ruling on. It's going to be very interesting.
So far, the level before the Supreme Court, I'm not,
Circuit Court.
Yeah, the Circuit Court.
They ruled in favor of Oracle. So at this point, yes, you can, and it has caused quite a bit of trouble for interoperability, the ability for different things to be able to communicate and work together. And I mean, potentially someone, if this continues on, the protocol used in Wi-Fi could be, copyrighted. And if that happens, either everyone has to fork over licensing fees in order to have their Wi-Fi continue working, meaning the company's not the user. Or all of a sudden Wi-Fi is going to stop working. It's not going to be as effective.
But at the same time, there's the other argument, and that is you've put a lot of R&D into creating something that your company should have ownership and control over in order for it to make a profit. And if part of that is a constructed language that allows interoperability that you've wanted to control, and other companies decide to use that material, should they not pay you for it? That's kind of what they're looking at. And that is, what are just because you create code is code language. And I think that's really what the it's going to come down to, is that there might be the ruling from the Supreme Court might surprise us. It might have language in it that says, constructed languages are all well and good. They're great. They're, language for interhuman discussion is one thing. But when it comes to technological language, they might make that differentiation. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see.
Matthew Anderson, you just amaze me.
Hooked on Ebonics. Learn to read. Yeah. Now with more jive than before.
Oh my God. Too funny. What else you got?
Let's see. I have one gaming item, which I'm going to save for when we start talking about games.
Yeah.
But I do have a couple of, let's see, an Indiegogo and a Kickstarter to mention. Let's see. We'll start with the Indiegogo. Captain Pike is back. Star Trek Captain Pike. They have learned a few lessons from their initial Kickstarter. They did manage to raise $77,000. Well, they had received pledges for $77,000, but they fell short of their goal. So they're trying again on Indiegogo, and they're only shooting for $50,000 this time to produce 30 minutes of their 2-hour film, their 90-minute film. So basically, they want to do Act 1, and then kind of build it in pieces. It looks like once people can see what they have in mind, then do a little bit more. But of course, they do have stretch goals to build potentially the whole film. So if this is something that you're interested in, the link will be in our show notes. Help spread the word, contribute. 6 days in, they're at $26,912 out of a potential $50,000 goal. So I think they're on track. They're going to hit their minimum goal, I think. I'm kind of curious. They have a great cast. They keep adding more people to it. There's been a couple interviews released that are attached to the Kickstarter, and they were offering some interesting limited edition rewards, such as Cage era costumes was part of it. So that was kind of cool, kind of different. So check that out.
I'm with Thomas the Cat on this one, though. I have to say I'm getting a little tired of the TOS stuff.
Yeah,
I want something new.
Yeah,
and part of the reason, but I have to say, Renegades is new. So if you're out there, Renegades is post Nemesis.
Yeah, that is certainly great. But even if we're still not going, if we're going to be doing like things that relate back to the shows, I would love to see some TNG era stuff. Come out.
Heck, I would love to see somebody do some DS9.
Oh,
I really would. Wouldn't that be fun?
No kidding. Yeah, for sure.
Give me some post DS9 Garrick stuff. God, people, you can do this.
Man.
Come on. See,
Totally
that's
agree.
it. Sensei, it's like the Cardassian dissident movement, a Cardassian fanfic. Oh my god,
Yeah.
I need this in my life.
So yeah, but I guess it's just easier to do TOS because there's a lot more sets available that they can.
Yeah, that's
use.
exactly it. They're just doing it
And-
because it's cheap, and I
Yeah.
don't blame them. But
And if there were TNG set, I know that one of the stated one of the original ideas for the TNG bridge that was going around that's now going to be part of a museum instead.
right,
One of the original ideas was to set that up for use for fan films, and I loved that idea. I
yeah.
wanted
Well,
that
that
idea, but
that
it
kind of
didn't work
got
out.
dead,
Yeah.
didn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, but we need to someone needs to get their hands on the TNG blueprints and build us a bridge so we can start doing some TNG fan
See,
films.
Thomas, you start a Kickstarter. I'm just saying, I'll throw
I'm
in
sure
money.
Larry probably has the blueprint.
And turn it into a brewery in the back. That's we could do a microbrew bar, and for every dollar, the beers will be a little bit expensive, but for every beer you buy, $1 of it will go to building a TNG bridge. Wow, that'd be awesome.
Right on.
Turn the whole damn thing into a bar. Be perfect. Okay.
The other Kickstarter news, I had mentioned the Star Trek. One second.
Bless you.
Sorry, I had to cough. I had mentioned the Star Trek 4 Years War technical manual Kickstarter.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they have done so well. They have decided to expand it. They are now going to do not only the technical manual for the 4 Years War, which was the book series that Stephen Fender had written, and the tech manual is all of the technical information from that. But he's also decided to expand it to include the Romulan War. So you're not only for this Kickstarter, you're not only going to be funding that technical manual, which is already funded. They've already surpassed that goal. They smashed that goal. So now the next goal, which was for 10,000, was to write the Romulan War series, which I believe was going to be a 3-book series that looked at a year in the Romulan War or something like that. Well, apparently they've already smashed that goal too.
And they're on their way to their $15,000 goal.
And I believe their $15,000 goal was, and it could have changed.
It's right here. It's we will add the Romulan War technical manual to the pre-existing 4 Years War manual that's being produced. That's projected to add about 100 pages to the books and in color. Along with this, a new 4-inch patch and poster will be added to all levels of $25 or above. And there's no other stretch goals beyond that, but he still has 43 days left.
I know.
In this. So it's very possible that he might have to find some new stretch goals, which is kind of awesome.
I know that his first Kickstarter for the to write the 4 Years War series, it did phenomenally well as also.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, check it out. I mean, they're part of the rewards is you can receive the 4 Years War. You can also receive the tech also the tech manual. You can also receive the Romulan War, which he still has not written yet. So, but he has plans for it. So, so definitely check it out. It might be worth something you're interested in.
Well, I did want to touch on and follow up on a product that came out last week that is not technically Star Trek related, but it is related to one of our good friends that we've known through Star Trek, and that's Mary Shawinski. She goes by Televixen on Twitter, and Nick kindly refers to her as the Empress.
As I should.
As you should, yes. She has released a book of poetry called Elements of Change. It is available for purchase on Amazon.com. I have 2 copies. I bought one for myself, but I did buy one for our listeners. Mary has kindly volunteered to sign the book, and we're going to make it one of our giveaways for the G&T show. It's a beautiful, beautiful book, and congratulations, Mary. And her Renaissance. She is a Renaissance lady. She is a woman of many, many talents, and she's a spectacular poetess. So congratulations, Mary. I think you've done something really quite beautiful. So, you can buy it. It's like $6.50 on Amazon. It's beautiful. So again, Elements of Change, a collection of poetry by Mary Sherwinski. Oh, I will get and the artist's name doesn't show up on the Kickstarter page?
I had received some of the I think it might be in one of the updates, the campaign updates or something, but I do remember him mentioning the artist somewhere in one of the communications I received from him. So it might be in one of the status updates.
Okay, and this is his website. He made the Romulan War schematics that Mr. Fetter is using, and Masayo Okazaki. So that link is in our, and we'll make sure that link is in our show notes as well, because we like to get our credit out to the artists.
Yep. Okay, so let's see.
So are we going to talk about games real quick, or do you have others?
One more thing, but it's a group discussion, which was for later.
No, let's just do it now. We have time. Or do you want to wait? It's up to you, Mike. You're in control this week.
Oh boy. There was something that someone had said that sparked an idea. I'm just too tired to think, I think. I know what we can do. Listen to voicemail.
Yeah.
GNT shows, listener mail. We want to hear from you. Send your questions, comments, and suggestions to hosts@gntshow.com. Complaints should be forwarded to J.J. Abrams.
Listener mail.
There you go.
We received voicemail this week.
Cool.
So the first one up is some Baz.
Happy birthday to Mikey. Happy birthday to Mikey. Happy birthday, dear Mikey. Happy birthday, dear Mikey. And many more. Happy birthday, Mike. From Bazag.
Thank you,
Hello?
Bazag.
Hello? Is this thing on? Hi. This is Lucara of Hewlett, and I understand that there is a Klingon who's got a birthday today, some guy named Ceridium. Anyway, I made you this flaming targ cake. I hope you don't mind. And I just wanted to wish you a happy birthday and many pleasant returns of the day, if you know what I'm saying. So enjoy your day and know that we love you. Happy birthday.
Lucara.
That was awesome.
You rock.
Thank you. Yeah, that one was well worth it.
Well, happy birthday.
That was awesome. Thank you, everybody. So yeah, we can talk about sex now. I think that might have come out wrong, but that's okay. It's a GNT show. So I had come across this article like 2 weeks ago, and we've been saving it for a good time. That totally sounds weird too, but here we go. Star Trek's 10 sexy moments that made geeks feel hot under the collar.
That make geeks feel hot under the collar. Okay.
Yes. So number 10 was Phlox and T'Pol from Enterprise Bounty. That's when they're in the containment.
That I had to say, I just have to ask, and if I ever do get the opportunity to sit down and interview, my brain just
Jolene Blaylock.
No, the producers.
Ethan Phillips.
No, the producers of the show. Come on.
Berman and Braga?
Berman and Braga. If I ever get the opportunity to talk with like the writer's room or Berman and Braga about Enterprise, because I do love the show, I really just want to know, what was it about a bunch of, and it had to be a bunch of men sitting around a table going, we really need to sex this show up because that's what sells. And how do we do that within the context of this science fiction show? You can just imagine that there was one guy going, we could have a sonic shower scene. That would be really cool, don't you think? Well, how do you make a sonic shower? And do we really know that sonic showers existed at that time? And then there's probably a third guy across the way going, you know what? Here's the thing. They didn't have sonic showers, but they had this gel. And gel would kill all the organisms and stuff. And they would have to rub it over each other's bodies. So it would... And you could hear the fourth guy going, oh, that's great. We could do that.
I would argue it was probably the network that told them to sex it up.
Probably.
Like they were hurting. I'm sorry, but I doubt that there was any one of them going, oh yeah, that we just can't.
Well, the network is the one that told them to put in the fucking time.
Yeah.
Temporal Cold War.
Yeah, that was stupid too. I'm not saying. I just thought it was funny. Is that because I remember the very first episode I saw where they pulled out the little pads of gel and said, "I have to rub this all over your body." I remember turning around, looking at Alan, going, "Really, really?" I mean, that's to say it's not hot, because it was pretty fucking hot, but.
And Phlox in that particular episode was so uncomfortable.
Yeah, which made it all the
yeah.
So I mean,
he's supposed to be a doctor. He's supposed to, and he's denobulant. So I mean, he should be used to that sort of thing.
I did have to laugh. I did have to laugh.
Number 9 is Troy and Devanani Rall from TNG The Price.
Yeah.
I don't know if that exactly was hot, but it certainly was. It certainly was interesting.
People started to freak out because this was an unmarried woman, and it's like, oh my God, she wants sex, right? This was the 80s, and they were supposed to be pushing. It still was. It fell flat for me because they actually had to cut the post scene where she's in bed. They had to cut around it because the censors were like, oh, you mean they had sex? I'm like, it was very weird. We had all of this stuff in the 70s where people were starting to kind of loosen up. And then in the 80s, that chastity belt on women was thrown on with a lock and key again. It was just very weird.
Interesting. Well, number 8 is Kirk and Uhura from TOS Plato's Stepchildren, the first interracial kiss.
It's a pivotal moment in television history.
Yes, it was. And at the time, I guess it was a rather hot kiss.
I would describe it as anything but.
I would agree.
They were being forced to do it against their will. I mean, there was nothing sexy about it.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm like...
That's true.
It was, but... Yeah, and so I mean, and people, and I have to say, I haven't heard that argument where people are like, oh, it was he didn't want it. I never heard the argument that the two of them didn't want to kiss each other because of their race. I've always understood it, and people have always seen it for what it was, and that was this was a forced kiss between two coworkers, and and it really was that way. It's like if somebody had some kind of a torture device that put me into the same room with my boss and they forced me to kiss him, we are of two different races. It's not because he is of a different race that I wouldn't want to kiss him. I really just wouldn't want to kiss him because he's my boss and it would be weird and ew, no. So that's what I got from that. And so I'm with them. It's like, no, I'm with you. Not hot.
Yeah. Yeah. Number 7 was Odo and Arissa from DS9, A Simple Investigation.
Okay, that was pretty wild.
Yeah. So to refresh everyone's memory, she was the lady who had her memory replaced in order to be a spy to try to bring down the Orion Syndicate.
Something like that.
And so her and Odo, they got along, they hooked up, and then he finds out she's married after she gets her memories back. Well, she was surprised by it too, I think. But yeah, kind of hot.
Yep, kind of hot. I think it was just the very idea of somebody shape-shifting that most women kind of went, huh.
Was he a shapeshifter at that point?
Oh God, that the whole scene of them in bed where he shapeshifts. Oh, Mike, you have to see it again.
I have to watch it again because I know that I think it was one of the later seasons, he wasn't a shapeshifter anymore. So I wasn't sure if that was at that point. He
totally.
Yeah.
He gave her the big Odo.
Yeah, he gave. Thank you very much.
All the nooks and crannies.
That's exactly right.
Barb for her pleasure.
There's a picture of her smiling, and there's a reason that smile existed. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Oh, too funny.
Number 6 was Janeway and Inspector Kashyyyk from Voyager Counterpoint.
That was a very interesting one. This is the one we've talked about this one time and again, and what I liked about it was that they were both using each other.
Yeah, and it was. I mean, there was intelligence. I mean, they were kind of digging into into each other for a lot more than just their bodies and sex and whatnot. They seemed like they were digging each other because of their minds, you know.
Yeah.
Which I thought was a pleasant.
It was
surprise.
a chess match of which sex was one of the pawns.
Yeah.
It was. I thought, yeah, that's true. That was pretty hot in that kind of way. Yeah.
Here's another TOS one. Uhura from TOS Mirror Mirror.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, the quintessential mirror universe forms with the knives and
the bare midriffs.
The bare midriffs and the pointy boobs. There was something in the 60s that, you know, women had to have pointy boobs. I don't know what it was, but
interesting.
It was just the way it was. Fashion. Yeah, fashion of the time.
Number 4, Worf and Dax, DS9, looking for Parmach in all the wrong places. So that's the episode where they walk out of the hollow suite, pretty bruised and beaten up, and Dr. Bashir just doesn't want to know. He just doesn't want to know.
Yep. It was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was I think it was the first time when I kind of went, these two belong together.
Mm-hmm. Number 3, Data and Yar from TNG Naked Down.
Ew, so not sexy.
But he is fully functional. Yeah. It was, I don't know.
Whoever made this list has issues.
Yeah.
Having sex with a vibrator, essentially.
I'm with you.
Oh, boy. So number 2. Number 2 is B'Elanna in Paris from Voyager Blood Fever. That's the one where she was getting premature Ponfar from Vorik.
Oh, that's right.
And
why would she? Wait, what?
Vorik had essentially mind melded, raped her through a mind meld to become her mate. He had a crush on her.
Oh, that's right.
And so she was experiencing the Ponfar, you know, as a result. And of course, her being partial Klingon, she also had those tendencies. But she, that's the first time we kind of got the hint that she liked Paris. Although people could argue that he was just convenient, but so was Vorik, you know. So, but yeah, she liked Paris.
Interesting. Okay.
And moving on to number 1.
Yeah.
T'Pol and Tucker from Enterprise Damage. That's the one with the shower scene.
No.
So
there's no shower.
There's a shower in.
Hold on.
Oh, I guess there is. Huh?
Hold on.
Yeah.
What is this title again? Top 10 sexy moments?
Yeah, that's what they're calling it. But again,
and they don't have.
She's hopped up on drugs.
Wait a minute. They don't have the Dax with her former lover, who's now a woman also.
Yeah.
True.
No.
And they didn't have Crusher and the other Trill, the Trill guy. That was pretty intense.
I'd agree with that.
But the Dax one was sexy because they both still loved each other. It was nothing. It was
but you're looking at, but look at this. But look at this website. This website has nothing to do other than the fact that, I mean, look at all the ads. It's like, don't miss 10 Hollywood stars you won't believe started in porn, wrestlers who did porn, actresses who desperately need to go nude.
Because
like,
it was the exact opposite of Plato's Stepchildren.
Right.
And
it's kind of twisted.
It was the Lambada of Trill Love.
Oh, that was cute.
Thank you.
Well done.
Yeah, that was a good reference. But yeah, but you know, sex is always fun to talk about, and I figure
that is true.
Even if we don't discuss, even if we don't agree with this list, I figured we might be able to come up with some of our own, and we already have come up with a few ideas.
Yeah, he did.
How about the chat room? What do you think are are some of your what are some of your favorite sexy moments from Star Trek?
I put Ashley Judd and Wesley together before Plato's Stepchildren from the game.
Oh yeah, there was a lot of
teenage.
Underage.
A lot of teenage
flirting and
yeah.
And wait, they did.
How do you think Wesley lost his virginity?
And they don't have Mudd's women.
I guess.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one too. Yeah. I'm serious. I need to. I have to ask. Do you think that how old Wesley was when he lost his virginity? What, 25, 26?
47.
40 is the perfect age.
No, he had
and it was from that creepy traveler. That guy was creepy.
He did have sex in that episode.
With who?
With the girl with the list. With the
Ashley Judd.
Ashley Judd.
Did they?
Yeah,
did they
at the end, he's putting on his boots and he walks out of her bedroom door, out of the out to the door, and lays a kiss on her, and they talk about wanting to hopefully they can remain friends. And Robin left
on. This stupid fucking list. No, Mirror Esri and the Intendant.
Yeah,
Really?
Oh yeah.
Well, see, that's part of my thing is I'm wondering whether or not that site has a problem with lesbians, right?
But they said sexy.
But I'm telling you, I'm not disagreeing with you, Nick.
And I'll tell you what I would put sexy above the Plato's stepchildren. I would put Sulu running around with his sword.
Oh, no
when
shit.
When he was infected.
Yeah, that man was all
The
oiled
man
up.
looked good.
Yeah, he did. He was shiny.
He was all shiny and dripping.
He was all shiny and
called her
sword
fair
swinging
maiden, and she
everything.
Thomas suggests Kira.
Sorry, neither.
Thomas the cat suggested Kira, self-love. Jespa said
That was really creepy, the Kira thing.
that was a little weird, but Bev Crusher with Odan, which I thought was also pretty hot.
Well, that was the very first time. You know what? It's that episode that made me realize that Crusher does not and never did belong with Picard. He was too. I loved that episode with her. I really did, because you saw her as this beautiful kind of sexual being who deserved somebody passionate and hot, right? And no, instead she starts to go for the asexual captain who was responsible for her husband's death. Whatever.
Matthew Anderson, you're banned for 1 month for posting anything from that episode.
Matthew Anderson put a photo in the chat room of the 2 salamanders from Voyager.
You're banned for 1 month.
Salamander on salamander action.
Some of the other things that were in the chat room: Bashir and Lita, Bashir and Esri, Crusher and the Irish Ghost.
No, that was freaky.
That was kind of freaky.
That was freaky.
Of course, the salamanders.
The salamanders are fucked up, man. I'm telling you. Thomas the cat says, "Who's hotter than Nana Visitor?" 2 Nana Visitors. Although that was just kind of weird, Thomas. I'm sorry. If I saw another me, I would not. Ew, not good. Oh, yeah. Harry Kim and every woman ever.
Quark and the Klingon woman, and with Worf guiding him. That was pretty cool. That was pretty hot. This little serial action.
If you think Worf telling Quark how to do that is sexy,
no,
I'm just gonna scoot my chair a little bit more towards Terry at this point. No offense.
Oh, too funny. Yeah, I have to say, their list is lacking severely, and some of the things on that list were not sexy.
Speaking of things not sexy and lacking, we have an Ask Dayton.
We do?
Mm-hmm. Awesome. Okay.
Mm-hmm. My God. Drips breath nipple.
You can call me Nick.
Got it into the...
All right, here we go.
Did you see who's here?
No.
Our special guest this week, none other than the man, the myth, the legend,
author extraordinaire.
Just ask him, Dayton Ward.
Up in here.
He's delicious.
The man is a sage.
Dayton Ward is here. Hi, Dayton.
Hello, Dayton.
Hello, Newman.
And Mark just handed him his complimentary gin and tonic for the G&T show, so that's always good.
That's good.
Firefly vodka. See, if we knew he was coming, we would have taken him to the green room with the green women.
God damn it, go read the Ask Dayton. Oh, Dayton.
Oh, Dayton. Dayton Ward is Grumpy Cat.
Dayton Ward, troller of trolls. He's such a diva.
Pay attention, Ask Dayton fans. Everybody got their pad and pencil ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Would you like to be a part of the Ask Dayton experience?
Send your questions to hosts@gntshow.com.
Ask Dayton number 112. Do I still remember how to do this? Dear Dayton, it's been a while. How's the witness protection program? So much is going on. With Daredevil in Age of Ultron, can Marvel do any wrong on the screen at this point? Also, what have you been reading you can recommend to us? Dayton's reply.
Oh, God.
Fuck off. No, that's not what it is. Witness protection? I didn't go anywhere. I've been here all along. To borrow and tweak an oft-used phrase that you'll hear a lot with respect to religion or politics, I didn't leave my podcast. My podcast left me.
Oh, it's true.
I mean,
we were
fuck.
bad.
How long's it been since we had an Ask Dayton? 3 months by my calculations. That's a football season. That's 1/3 of a gestating baby. That's how long Barbara Streisand says goodbye during her latest farewell tour. Truth be told, I've had this question in my hopper for a couple of weeks now, but I'd been holding out for more money from the show, and contract negotiations had stalled. My agent was finally able to get me a nice raise, and from now on, I'll be making 3 times as much per answer as I was making before. Pretty sweet, right? What have I been doing since then? I've been working my ass off. That's what. Since the last time we spoke, I've written 1 book, finished co-writing another, banged out a couple of short stories, and the odd web-based space thing and plunged ass deep into writing 2 different novels at the same time. Why? Because I'm a fucking idiot, that's why. Who writes 2 novels at the same time? Points thumb to self. This moron, right here. Thankfully, neither book is remotely like the other in terms of story, themes, characters, or even genres. That's the only thing saving me from running out onto the street and trying to open field tackle on a bus. Although it does make for some interesting dreams, you know, when I get around to actually sleeping and shit. But you probably don't give a damn about my day or any of that, do you? No, I'm fine. Thanks for asking. As for what Marvel can and can't do wrong as so far as their much vaunted cinematic universe goes, I'm going to be that guy who says he didn't really get all that excited about Age of Ultron. I wasn't in that much of a hurry to see it, and once I finally made a screening, it's not like I was champing at the bit to see it again. Contrast that with Mad Max Fury Road, which I wanted to watch again as soon as the credits finished rolling the first time. Hot damn, what a fun movie that was. As for Ultron, no, it certainly wasn't a bad movie, but it was like Chinese food. Half hour after I was done watching it, I wanted something to fill the void because in the end, the flick just didn't do that much for me. So as far as I was concerned, the best Marvel movie to date is Captain America Winter Soldier.
Mm-hmm.
As entertaining as both Avengers movies are, neither one of them comes close to knocking that one off the top of the heap for me. The only one that might have a chance is Cap's next outing, Civil War.
Yep.
Taking a look at what else is coming from Marvel, I have to admit a healthy skepticism about Ant-Man. I mean, really? Then again, I was one of those folks who thought Guardians of the Galaxy was going to be a big misfire, and I was quite happy to be proven wrong about that. I don't really have feelings one way or the other yet about Spider-Man reboot, and I was never a big Doctor Strange or Thor fan, but Captain Marvel intrigues me. Speaking of characters who need their own movie, we seriously need a Black Widow flick. Natasha Romanoff is arguably the biggest badass of the whole group we've seen so far. No superpowers, no high-tech toys, just skills and sass. What are we waiting for?
No shit.
I agree.
Switching gears to the other part of your question, my leisure rating has taken a hit in recent months, to be honest. Anything I read these days is almost always research or homework for whatever writing project is front and center. It doesn't stop me from buying new books, you understand. The way I see it, I'm lining up my activities calendar for when I finally retire. That said, hold on please, I gotta sneeze.
Bless you, Dayton.
Thank you. No, that was me, not Dayton. That said, I did have a recent opportunities to read a couple of books. The first was called Home Before Morning, a memoir written by a former Army nurse that chronicles her experiences at an evac hospital during the Vietnam War. If that premise sounds familiar to you, it's because this book was the basis for the 1980s television series China Beach.
Oh.
The other book I read was The Martian by Andy Weir, which is one of the more entertaining science fiction novels I've read in a long time. I wanted to read it before the movie adaptation hit theaters later this year, and the movie's going to have a tough act to follow. I used to be able to say, hey, it's Ridley Scott. That's like Money in the Bank. But I still haven't completely forgiven him for recent efforts like Prometheus, and the very idea of a sequel to Blade Runner is blasphemous. So here's hoping that The Martian marks the start of big-time bounce back for Sir Ridley.
Yep.
I think that's enough babbling for one answer, don't you? I look forward to addressing the next Ask Dayton sometime in 2017 or so.
Yeah, that is partially our fault. Thank you, Dayton.
Thank you, Dayton.
Thank you, Dayton. God, it was good to hear you read this stuff again. It was fun.
Nick, email that to me so I can make sure it gets on the website. Thank you.
I am like you need to tell me.
Yes.
Normally, I receive it in my inbox, but I guess it was sent privately.
You goddamn right.
Well,
you're goddamn right. Do I have?
Well, it was very fun.
Oh,
Thank you, Dayton, and I'm looking forward to talking with you. So do we know what's going on with Pangea? Has there been an update? I know that they made their.
I was having some pains, but the doctor gave me because I have to get it out probably, my Pangea.
Well, they did the Kickstarter campaign. I know that that everybody kind of got their walking orders and everybody got to. I wonder if he's working on that. That's something we'll have to ask him about today. If everybody's kind of writing on that now, they must be.
The Pangea. Okay.
The Pangea, yeah.
I was like, what's that?
The anthology.
Okay.
That anthology, yeah. I'm looking forward to that. And look
Gaming
at that picture.
Yeah, young Bob Picardo.
Young Bob Picardo.
He actually has hair.
Yeah, really. So,
but I like him better, without. I think he looks more distinguished. But yeah,
Dana Delaney. Was it Mark Helgenberger in that as well?
I think so.
Yeah.
Moving on to some gaming news.
Yep.
I want to play Star Trek Online.
Engineering here. Warp engines are online.
Course laid in, Captain.
Engage.
Your ship
Your crew. Your destiny.
Did you?
Oh, you go ahead.
I was gonna say, let's talk about timelines first.
Okay,
go for it.
First, timelines. They released another video where they're discussing the Bajorans, and in it they drop a few hints about because there are temporal anomalies that we'll be seeing, and because Star Trek we learned so much about the Bajorans that we could potentially see people or characters or organizations from different points in their history. So, for instance, the Maquis could show up. We could end up with 2 or 3 different versions of Cisco, with one from when he's just arriving and he's still got all that angst and is trying to deal with everything that he went through with the loss of his family and whatnot. And then we can also get him as the emissary, or any number of different things. And I thought that was very, very cool, very interesting, because not only are we potentially going to be getting, one version of the character, but we could potentially end up with multiple versions. And some of the things that they were saying about the Cardassians and the Bajorans, we could actually get those civilizations from different points. So we could be dealing with, post DS9 Cardassia and have, be dealing with the Maquis from the past in modern times and whatnot. I don't know. I just thought it was very interesting.
Oh, that's interesting.
Check out the video, and it'll be in our show notes.
Cool. I threw a link in there too regarding Star Trek Online. Who knew it was bonus marks weekend? Did you?
I didn't. I haven't been in game all weekend.
I had no idea. I found the bonus mark link regarding the weekend on StarTrek.com, but I don't remember seeing anything through the marketing. Usually you get a little notice, from Stowe when you do, but I had no idea.
And in game, on the event calendar area, it's always listed there, but you have to go looking, for it rather than being told.
Yeah. Well, we did get to a lot of Star Trek Online news. You guys will actually be coming out with our supplemental logs. Mike visited Cryptic Studios this week. Got a lot of great interviews. We also interviewed Al Rivera, the lead designer for Cryptic for Star Trek Online yesterday. And
I think there was more news in that interview than anything that I grabbed from Cryptic.
So there was a lot of news. No spoilers, but there's some interesting info. The good news was that Star Trek Online will be making an appearance at Star Trek Las Vegas, which is great news. We do not know the specifics about what they will be doing when they're there, but we do know that they will have a presence, so to speak. So that's great news. This week is the 3rd week the gate is opened for House Peg, where you can replay the featured episode and get that 3rd specialization point and trait, which I'm now complete
or you
with.
Can get, if you don't want the spec point, you can get the crafting material.
The crafting material, but I can't imagine.
Yeah,
I'm all that XP, man.
Yeah, I'm just gonna grab the spec point myself.
Yeah, I'm like, dude, that's a whole lot of work right there.
I don't need the crafting materials,
Yeah, I do know, which is great because I rely on you for a lot of those crafting materials.
Do you need another stack of 100?
I might. I'll tell you. I'll send you a little note with some of the stuff because I'm trying to craft them myself, but I keep running out of radiogenic particles, and I'll tell you, hunting those down is a bitch. So I just broke down and went to the damn exchange.
Yeah. Sometimes it's easier there.
Yeah, it is. And I sold one of my ships. I got one of those Xindi aquatic carriers from one of the lock boxes.
Cool.
And I just know I'm never gonna fly it. I just know I was never gonna fly it. So I sold it to Shell, Lady Shell in
Hi Shell.
Fleet, and I sold it to her, and she loves it. So that she's happy, I'm happy, and Beth has EC, so that's great.
Sweet.
And yeah, it's great. that's kind of it as far as I do know that we are going to be seeing a new featured episode coming up soon. And we did get to verify with Al yesterday that featured episode is the one that has Aaron Eisenberg's voice talents in it. So, yay.
In one of the interviews that I did, I got a confirmation of that date, and it is. So I hope everyone's available to play it.
And so we're real happy. One of the things that was interesting when you guys listened to the interview with Al is the way he kind of teased that featured episode was that what happens in that featured episode will have lasting ramifications through expansion 3. How he said it.
Yeah, which made it, which I think equates to like a year and a half down the road.
Right. And
like
I
amazing.
thought that was kind of wild. So I think that's going to be pretty darn cool. And also this week for good news for those of us who have lifetime subscriptions or veterans, they have given us a new 1,000 day reward. For a couple of years now, the 1,000 day reward for Star Trek Online was a heavy destroyer called the Chimera class, and she's cool. I've had Cassidy in that Chimera now for about a year and a half. I love it. It is kind of that perfect escort, kind of that beefy escort type of feel. It's not overly maneuverable, but it's pretty damn maneuverable. But it's got a lot of firepower behind it. It's got a couple of great console that I loved, and it always kind of bummed me out. Huh?
I haven't gotten mine yet. Where do you pick it up?
Oh, you just go to the ship store. It's unlocked.
To one of the actual NPC vendors, or
Yep.
Okay, so you can't like open up your Zen store.
No, it's not the Zen store. It's just an unlocked. When you click on it, it says buy for $0.
Okay.
And for years, for a year and a half, I've had Cassidy in this thing. I've had a couple of other my tunes in it, but with the advent of Tier 6 ships, I've taken them all out because you want to get those ship trades, right? So I was very pleased to see that I could take one of my characters directly out of the Chimera and put them into the Manticore, which is the new Tier 6 version of the Chimera. So it's an upgraded version of the Chimera heavy destroyer. It's fabulous. If you like the Chimera, you're going to love the Manticore.
I need more ship slots.
I finally went through, and it broke my heart, but I finally went through and released about 12 of my ships.
I've already done that like many times, and right now I have the collection of ships that I want to hold on to for whatever reason.
Yeah.
And it's like, so now I have to make another choice to cut something or just break down and buy more slots. So I think I'm at the point where I just need to buy more slots. Although having like 25, 26 ships is already a bit excessive, but
yeah. But I'm with you. There are certain ships that I know I can reclaim if I need to, but there are certain ships I know I can't. So I'm hanging on to them, right?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I had to go through and take out a lot of those low level ships if I ever needed to, or if I know I'm never going to play them again. That's different. So
yeah.
But the new Manticore is great. She's beautiful. It has an upgraded version of the same console that you had on the Chimera, which is that super blaster, kind of like the Starfinder or the last Starfighter thing, and it's just really fun. So I've had it. It's free and there is still, I believe, a lifetime subscription sale. So LTSs are back on sale for Star Trek Online. So yay! That's kind of it for Stowe. And then this week it has been verified that Star Trek Alien Domain, which is another browser-based game, is now an open beta. So there you go.
Wait a minute. That's the game that I've checked that
You've
I played.
been playing.
I only played it once.
Okay. You've played it. It is now an open beta.
Oh, okay. So cool. Right on.
Yep.
Didn't realize I was playing a beta.
Yep. So yay for you. And so give that a shot. We've talked about it before. I'm looking forward to talking a little bit more about it as I'm gonna give it a try here pretty soon. So yay for games.
It's a bit different. I've been playing Trexels. I'm on level 32 in terms of my progression. I'm about halfway through the second system map. So I'm taking my time. I'm building out my ship, making sure upgrading my crew. because there are still some levels where it's almost insta-fail, you know, because there's a mechanic in there where you have to they throw like these blocks, and these blocks, depending on the type of mission, whether it's diplomacy, engineering, science, et cetera, there's a variety. But it's all basically the same mechanic. You're tapping these blocks and collecting them, and then you have to spin them before the timer runs out. Well, because I'm using officers that are not specialized enough for a specific type of mission or whatnot, I end up failing because they're not giving me all the right kind of blocks fast enough. So I've been doing some upgrading for my crew there. And Sun is trying to get my attention. What, Sun? What?
I don't know.
Oh, happy birthday.
Oh, that's sweet. Well, do we have any announcements?
Well, we do have contests as usual. Right now we have Nick's convention contest. So if you go to a convention and you happen to stalk a Star Trek celebrity, and you can get them to say that they never listened to the G&T show, tell them what they can win, Nick.
Shout out.
Oh. And wasn't there also supposed to be like this, massive prize package thing? Okay, never mind. It's supposed to be Star Trek Catan.
I don't remember. Is it Catan?
It's
yeah,
Catan.
It was supposed to be Catan.
Yeah, hey, you win a copy of Star Trek Catan that's never been opened.
Oh, boy. Good morning, Nick.
He's been a busy man.
Anybody have a bobby pin? Anybody have a bobby pin right now? If you can produce a bobby pin, $100 right now. Who am I, Terry, doing that? Who am I?
Monty Hall.
There you go.
Right on.
Yeah,
it's been a rough week for fans of different things. We lost one of the great voices in Christopher Lee.
Yeah.
Yes.
Not only was he a great Dracula and an actor, and younger fans actually know him from the Star Wars prequels,
Count Dooku,
which is exciting. But
or as my nephews call him, Count Dookie.
Yeah.
My God.
But what a voice Christopher
6 and 3
had. I mean, it was just
and a hero, a war hero, you guys.
Yes, very much.
And people don't know what he had gone through during the war, and was with the SAS, right? Like, holy shit, this guy has been
to the SAS.
What was that?
It was the precursor to the SAS.
And so essentially, this guy was a motherfucking backstabbing spy. Awesome. I mean, he lived what people write about,
and then he became Dracula,
and then he goes on to become I just thought that was so wild, and the quintessential Dracula too. I mean, really, he was the one that we got on Saturday afternoons.
Yeah.
And did you? And
we also lost Rue McClanahan
2 years ago.
I thought it was
4 years ago.
Was it 4 years ago?
Yeah, she died. Well, she died. It was one of those things where somebody went, "Oh my God, I didn't know she died," or "Oh, horrible, she died." And what it was an article that had been over a year old.
I only saw the picture, so.
Oh, okay, yeah.
As I was scrolling
she had
through
passed
things.
away.
Oh, okay.
And it's okay.
And other geek,
there was another death this
Oh yeah.
I on the show I made no bones about the fact that I'm a pro wrestler. I was always a Ric Flair fan. I was in that camp, as like any other genre, which pro wrestling is. It's its own genre. I wanted to be the wheeling, dealing, limousine riding, jet flying, Rolex wearing, Ric Flair. But in him was the perfect foil. His longtime real friend and guy he looked up to when he joined the business, the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes. If you've never watched wrestling or never seen it, Dusty Rhodes was the absolute opposite of what you would expect in an athletic human being. And he used to joke about it all the time, that he didn't look like the athlete of the day or anything. He was a big man. Let's face it, he was fat, okay? And I hated Dusty Rhodes, but here's a tribute to how much I liked Dusty Rhodes. I would pay to go see him, to root against him. Now, mind you, he was the good guy, and I wanted to root against him, but I could never hate him because I enjoyed his work so much.
Right.
And he did. There was a promo in the '80s that he cut. It wasn't scripted because they didn't do that back then. called his Hard Times promo. Go to Google and just Google Dusty Rhodes Hard Times, and you will see why this guy was in the top 3 to 5 talkers ever in the business. And it was a very sudden death, very unexpected, very unexpected. So it was sad, but yeah.
Yeah. I when I was growing up, me and my brothers, we did watch a lot of wrestling, and I'm not as big of a fan as my brothers are, but I do remember Dusty Rhodes, and his son was also a pro wrestler.
Both of them are. Yeah. Dustin and Cody.
Yeah. So, well, I didn't know about Cody, but Dustin I knew. So, yeah, it was a loss that even affected me.
Yeah, it's funny, and every wrestler that's ever worked with him or known him, these last several years have been spent behind the scenes training the young kids coming up. Everybody does a Dusty Rhodes impression. Let me tell you, babies, the American Dream. And that was the other thing. He had a lisp, a pronounced lisp, but that was part of his charm. You know what I mean, Terry?
Yeah.
I've lined and dined with kings and queens and sat in an alley with franks and beans. You know, it was an amazing gift that he had. And there's a good picture, although that's later in his career. But you can see, not what you would picture when you say world champion pro wrestler.
Yeah.
Other contests, Terry's takedown contest is still going on.
It's still going on.
So if you want a chance to win a copy of Star Trek Takedown and the Obi-Wan Star Wars novel, right? All you have to do is
Kenobi.
Oh, Kenobi. My mistake. Right. All you have to do is read Star Trek Titan Absent Enemies, find Terry's favorite scene, email us, tell us what it is, and if you're right, you get not one but 2 books, right? They're actual physical books, and I think they're autographed, right?
I'm working with John Jackson Miller to get them autographed. Yes.
Cool. So so definitely check that out.
And I did, just so you know, I did get one guess, and so far it was not correct.
Oh, okay.
And so there's 2 scenes now that have been guessed and have been wrong, and those scenes are the first one is not when Riker throws the chair, and 2, it's not when Riker and Picard share a moment laughing about how if Worf had handled the situation, he would have beaten the one motherfucker with another motherfucker. Close, but really not that close. But that was funny. And no, that wasn't the episode. So those 2 scenes are not the scenes I'm talking about. We're kind of doing a process of elimination.
You ever get so mad you just want to beat somebody with a cactus?
I laughed so hard when somebody said it had to be the scene where Riker and Picard are talking about had Worf been the person in this situation, he would have just taken one of the aliens and beaten the other alien with that alien. I laughed so hard.
That was a good scene. And let's see, 5-year missions Kickstarter is complete.
Congratulations, you guys.
Terry, did you know that I was the 100th person to donate to them?
Congrats! How fun!
Yeah. They give you a shout out for your money, but they didn't give me anything for being the 100th. But that's okay. That's okay.
Park.
We all appreciate your contribution.
He's gonna need a squeeze when you get to Vegas. I'm just saying.
Just saying, it's okay. It's all right.
Okay.
Well, we are going to be receiving an autographed discography from 5-Year Mission to give away to a lucky listener in a contest. And I was just tossing around some ideas, and I'm thinking karaoke contest. What do you guys think?
For the 100th episode?
No, I was thinking.
I mean, I'm all game, and I know Anthony Battles will join us for this, Black Magnum, and we could probably even get Lem involved in this one when we do the telethon.
Mm-hmm.
Oh well.
I'm feeling some karaoke.
Well, I was thinking more along the lines of our listeners send us a video of them.
It's dangerous, Mike.
Karaoke.
Do we want a video of Baz singing?
Yes.
There you go.
Oh, God. Of course, we could then get one of Sunsail.
Also true. Or Adrian.
She won't. She'll somehow do it with puppets, so we don't get to see her.
Or Adrian, or any number of people, and so I thought it might be a fun little thing, but I don't know. We still have to figure it out. But from what I understand, July 3rd is when they are going to be releasing their new Spock's Brain album.
Awesome.
So,
well, congrats to 5-Year Mission. We love you very much, and I'm excited. I want mine.
Well, the chat room is saying yes, they're down. So
cool.
Might be what we're doing. I don't know yet. We'll wait until I get the stuff in my hot little hands, and then we'll make an official announcement.
Sounds good.
Somebody
all right, you
downstairs
guys.
is cooking bacon.
Oh, it's time to take a break.
I want to die.
Speaking of floppy dildo puppets,
it's the name of our next band.
Our karaoke band.
Floppy dildo puppets.
Floppy dildo puppets. Oh my god. I think that's it.
With their hit, Hard Times.
Oh, very good. Well played.
That's the point where we leave.
Yes. All right. It's been fun.
Have a great one, you guys. We'll see you next week for episode 197. Until then, live long and prosper.
Kapla.
Joe Lontrue, bitches. Happy birthday, United States Army.
All right.
Music for the G&T show is provided by Warp 11, Andrew Allen, Grethor, and 5 Year Mission. This has been a Busy Little Beaver production.
Gonna take a 5-year tour. Boldly go where no man's gone before. Gonna travel to the end and make new friends. Move ahead, walk back to 10. Put a mini skirt on my old man. Represent the human race. And we make space a happy place. To boldly go where no man's gone before. I think I sang that line once before, but I'm not too sure. We'll be so happy, can't you see? A zero-G gonna travel to new worlds. Beam on down and meet some green girls. Gonna see what we can see. A fancy free galaxy. To boldly go where no man's gone before. I think I sang that line once before, but I'm not too sure. We'll be so happy, can't you see? A zero-G community. Come and take a tour with me. There'll be no cons or Kobe.